Hey y'all, welcome back. In this video I'm going to show you how I made this kind of rustic looking 4th of July wreath using items from Walmart. I know, it's not Dollar Tree, I'm sorry. This is all from Walmart. This is an 18-inch grapevine wreath form, so it's fairly large. And I made this little sign myself, so you can't find this exact sign anywhere, I'm sorry. I'm also sorry for the video being so long-winded, but you know, when you're painting things, sometimes it takes a few extra steps to show other people how to do it. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. Alrighty, y'all. So I hope y'all can hear me okay. My voice is raspy because I feel like I'm getting a sore throat because of all this wonky weather. And my nails are chipped because I'm in the middle of moving. And y'all know that chipped nail polish is my pet peeve, so that's getting on my nerves. And I was moving stuff earlier, and then all of a sudden we're having these massive thunderstorms, and we're in the middle of like a flood watch. So I apologize if y'all hear rain and thunder and stuff in the background. But, of course, what you're going to need for this is, y'all saw in the beginning of the video, of course you're going to need a grapevine wreath, and mine was an 18-inch one, and I got it from Walmart. Now, moving on from that, I'm going to be using these little stars. This is like this little garland that I got from Walmart for $2.98. You get 3 of these stars, and they kind of have like a piece of star-shaped foam in the center. They're real squishy. And I'm like, you know, I can do something with that. So I got those, and the edges were kind of squished and stuff from being shipped, I guess. So what I did is I just ironed them flat to make the edges all nice and sharp and better looking. And then I decorated some buttons to glue in the center because I wanted to give these kind of like a rustic look, you know, kind of spruce them up a little bit. Excuse me. So what I did is I used some of this twine, and you can get this at the Dollar Tree or Walmart carries it too. And I just thread it through the buttons. Now it can be hard to get this twine through buttons, and I usually use dental floss for this, but of course I'm out of dental floss. Why wouldn't I be? I'm out of dental floss. Of course I need it, I'm out. But you can use a pipe cleaner too. I just take the pipe cleaner or dental floss or whatever and just shove it through the hole in the button. See, there's a loop. Just feed your twine through the loop. And I'm just going to pull the pipe cleaner back through the hole. I said I was. There we go. It's a lot easier with dental floss. And then there's your threaded button. So let's set that off to the side. As you can see on these already, I've just glued them down to the little stars. So I'm going to grab this other one. Excuse me. I got some water over here, so I'm going to try not to cough too much. Let's see, which side do I want to put this on? I'm looking at the seams here because as you can see, like right there, that's where they kind of stopped and started, the seams. And it's kind of raggedy looking. So I'm just going to put a blob of hot glue on my button here and then stick it down kind of sort of in the center of the star. I'm sorry, I need to get under the camera here. And then I'm going to let that cool. Now I'm going to go back and just tie these into little bows. I know somebody's probably saying, well, why are you going through all the trouble of threading the buttons? Just tie the bow, then glue it, blah, blah, blah. Because I don't want to. Because this is the way that I want to do it. See? Now I got a cute little rustic looking bow. I'm not going to bore y'all with watching me tie the bow on the other stars, so I'm just going to leave it like this, cut some nice little long tails, and there's our little decorated star. Okay, so I'm going to set all those off to the side. I'll tie bows on the others here just in a bit. Now I've got this wooden star. I got this from Walmart as well, and honestly I can't remember how much this was. I can't remember how much it was. I'm sorry. But what I'm going to do is I want to paint it. And then I'm going to go back with my Cricut and put some vinyl lettering on here to make my own little sign, because I was looking for signs and I wasn't finding one that I was too happy with. I need some red paint. So I want to put some stripes on this star, like red and blue stripes. I want this to come off too. How do I take this off? Oh, that's glued on there. I'm just going to try to cut this off. There we go. So I want to paint this with some red and blue stripes. And to do that, first off, I'm going to paint it red. Because when you're painting on stripes, it's a lot easier to start off with the lighter color and then go back over it with the darker color. And if I can find something to paint with, good Lord, would you look at the size of this sponge thing I have. Well, that'll work, I guess. I'm just gonna put some paint on there. Ooh, that's a nice red. This is Cherry Cobbler from Craft Smart, and I'm reasonably certain that came from Michael's. But you can use whatever color you want. Of course you can. There's nobody policing this. If you don't use the same colors as me, I'm not going to come to your house and tell you to not do it. But I'm going to paint this, and I think I'm going to put on 2 or 3 coats. Because I do like the paint from Michael's, but sometimes it can be just a tad bit thin. But I got this during a sale, and I was like, you know, I can't pass that up. So I got some. Alright, so I'm going to let this paint dry, and then I'm going to put on another coat. 2 coats might be okay. But anyway, I'll put on another coat, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how to do the stripe part. Okay, so my star here, the red part anyway, is dry, and now I want to put on some blue stripes, and what I'm going to use is this painter's tape, and I'm going to section off parts so that I can go back and paint it with my blue paint. And I got this at Home Depot or Lowe's one. You can get it at Walmart. Even Dollar Tree carries it. But you know what painter's tape is. You paint around like your baseboards and whatnot in your home before you're going to paint. And this tape keeps the paint off places that you don't want it to go. It sticks really well. Just make sure that you press it down on the edges. And it really does create a nice tight line so that you can paint over it, and it won't let the paint seep up underneath it. And then it comes off pretty easily. So, alright, now I'm going to try to get this spaced out evenly. Let me see, do I have a ruler anywhere? That would be best. Let me get a ruler. I'm sorry, I should have had that prepared. But I'm going to be using my trusty, the Southern Girl Can ruler, and let's measure this tape. And it's right at 1 3/4 inches wide. Okay, so that's where I will, do I have something to put a little mark? I'll just use these tweezers here. Let's measure. 1 and, right about there looks good. Whoops, I got a piece of vinyl stuck to it. Right about there looks good. Now let's, yeah, just to make the line. I can see that line. I don't know if y'all can see it or not, but I can see it. So I'm just going to tear off this piece of tape, and then I'm going to stick it down on that line that I just that I just carved out with my tweezers. We're going to pray that it's straight. I'm just going to bend it around. I said I was. Let's just trim that right there. There we go. Just fold that around like that. Like I said, that doesn't have to be perfect. But the part that you really want to make sure that you try to get right is, like I said, just sealed on the edge here so that you don't want the paint oozing through. Okay, I'll put that around. Okay, I will do the other part here in a minute. I'm going to tape it all the way across, of course. But then what I'm going to do is I want to paint these exposed parts here blue. And I got a couple different colors of blue. This dark blue, Admiral blue, navy blue. I don't know. I want the brighter color blue. Oh dear. Yeah, that's kind of dark. Okay, let's go with this. This dark blue. And once again, oh yeah, that's the same brand, Craft Smart. Like I said, I believe this came from Michael's. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put just a blob of this paint on a piece of cardstock here. And then just take a sponge applicator and paint the stripe. Like that. Just like that. Like I said, I was looking for a sign that I could put on a 4th of July wreath, and I just wasn't finding what I was looking for. I mean, I know it's a little early for it. So I wasn't expecting to find too much, but I just wasn't finding one that I was too happy with. So I thought, maybe I can get a blank and I'll make one. I like making my own signs. Okay, so we'll let that dry. And then this might take, I know I did 3 coats of the red paint. And I'm probably going to do 3 coats of the blue paint just to make double sure that you can't see any red coming through it. Okay. And then what I've done is I've cut out some lettering. If y'all can barely probably see this, says Home of the Brave. I cut that out of some vinyl with my Cricut a few minutes ago. And then once all this paint is dry and I get it to where I like what it looks like, I'm going to put that lettering on here. Of course, I'll show y'all how to do that. And I'm thinking I might go back with some white paint maybe and put some little lines or dots or something to maybe make the heart look like it's been stitched or something. The heart, oh my goodness, the star. To make the star look like it's been stitched or something. I don't know. I haven't figured that part out yet. But when I figure it out, I will show y'all. So I'm going to finish painting this blue. I'm going to let it dry and do all of my coats. And then I'll come back and we'll put the lettering on. Okay. And y'all, I'm sorry that there's so many steps to this video. But when you're painting things, yeah, it takes a few more extra steps than you would like, you know, to do on a video. But okay, my star sign is dry. My star sign. Well, my star is dry, and I already took off one of the pieces of tape, so you can see it red and blue, but it comes off really easily. You just want to be really careful with this, because sometimes, like, if there should happen to be like a tiny little piece, or, you know, spot of your paint that is not 100% dry when you pull this off, it could take the paint off, but if it does, just go back and just touch that paint up. But most of the time when I'm using this tape, I don't ever have a problem with it. See, it just comes off really, really easily. It makes such crisp lines. I love this stuff. Okay, come off. Come off, please. Okay, here we go. Liking the way it's looking so far. My poor tape. I tore it. Okay, let's go back. Go back. Go back. Go back. Okay, let's get in there. There we go. All right. So, all right, here's what we have so far, and I'm trying to decide which way. I like it like that, with like the stripes running kind of like at an angle. So I think I'm going to keep it like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my vinyl lettering on, and I've already got it onto my transfer tape. And if y'all use a Cricut or, you know, have anything like that, I use the Magic Cover. It's clear, transparent shelf liner paper, I guess is what it technically is. My grandma used to use this stuff all the time to like laminate patterns and recipes and stuff she got out of magazines, but I got that from the Dollar Tree, and you get a fairly decent size roll. So it's a big roll. So I've got my vinyl lettering on there, and I'm just going to figure out where I want to put it. I think right about there looks okay. Hold on, I need to look at this from another angle right quick. I think that looks okay. And thank goodness with this vinyl, this is a Cricut brand vinyl. If you don't press it down really hard, you can work with it just a little bit in case you don't have it stuck down right where you want it. I think that looks okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and press it down. Make sure to get these little bits here. Those can be tricky. Those can like come back up when you pull your transfer tape off. And if that happens, just take a pair of tweezers and stick them back on there. But if you don't have a Cricut, you can look at Hobby Lobby or any craft store and just get some vinyl stickers. I know there's a lot of like paper stickers that may not hold up, you know, if your wreath is exposed to the elements. But if you can find some vinyl stickers and just little decorations like that, you can make a sign too. You don't have to have a Cricut to make one. Okay, let's hope this stuck down. If it didn't, I'll just have to go back over it a little bit. Looking good so far. Okay, work with me. Don't make me look like a fool. Up. You did. See what I mean about the little parts? There we go. All right. So there we go. There's our sign so far. And I think what I'm going to do now, with a very fine paintbrush, I have like this nail detail, it's for your nails, this nail detailing brush here. And it's got a little dotting tool on the end. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some white paint and I'm going to go back around the edge of the sign and maybe along the stripes, I don't know yet, and put just a little bit of white, you know, just to kind of bring out the white lettering and give it a little bit of extra oomph, you know. But I'm going to do that, and then we'll come back. Like I said, I apologize for all the steps. And then I'll come back and we'll just put it all together. We'll attach the stars, we'll attach the sign. I have this fabric over here that I got from Walmart. I'm thinking about maybe ripping a thin piece, like a thin width of this off and wrapping it around the wreath like in lieu of ribbon. I don't know. We'll see. It's all about the creative process, right? Just playing with stuff. But let me work on my sign once again. And once that paint is dry, then I'll come back and I will I'll show you how to put it all together. Okay, so here is my sign. Here's your sign. Here's my sign. I finished painting it all the way around. And what I did is I just took that dotting tool at the end of this brush. Okay, can y'all see that? I'm sorry if you can't. I just dipped it in the paint and then just made little dots on my sign. I did 3 dots, dip it in the paint, 3 more dots, dip it in the paint until I got all the way around it. And I don't think that I'm going to do any on the actual stripes because I just think that's going to be way too cluttered and it would mess with the lettering. So I'm pretty happy with the way it looks just like that. So I want to set that off to the side to dry. It won't take it just a few minutes to dry because the dots are small. But what I did with this fabric is I just barely started to cut a strip, and then I ripped it all the way down and made these little fabric strips here. This one is too big. I don't want this. I was just playing around with the idea, okay? But I thought instead of wrapping a ribbon around the wreath, I wanted something like a little more, I don't want to say raggedy because that's not rustic, I guess. I don't know. But you can see where I ripped the fabric, it's frayed out right there. And that's the kind of look that I was going for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these strips of fabric in place of a ribbon. Let's see, here's the fabric here. Let me see. Long ways like this. I just cut a little notch just to get it started, and I just ripped it all the way down. So it gives you a nice frayed look, and I just cut off all the long strings there. See? Then however thin or wide, narrow, whatever you want to say it, however narrow you want that. Now these stars are not attached yet. I was just laying it there, you know, just to see how to place everything. But the way I'm going to attach the stars is just like everything else. I'm going to hot glue a pipe cleaner to the back, and then I'm going to attach it to the wreath that way. And I always use Gorilla brand glue sticks because they are designed to be made indoors or outdoors. You know, they will withstand the weather. So I'm going to get just a strip of my fabric here. Let's get the long strings off of it. Then I'm going to decide where I want to place it. Let's start right here, I guess. Do I want this to be the back? Oh, there's that big knot right there. Yucky. All right, yeah, I guess that will be, this will be the back. So I'm just going to take the fabric and just place it somewhere and tuck it under a few of these. And I'm going to put just a blob of glue on it to hold it in place. And yeah, it's not going to look too good right now. But you know, once everything is in place and fastened down, I go back with my scissors and I trim off all of the excess, you know, just to make it look nice. And I've said before, you know, it doesn't really matter to me what the back of a wreath looks like. Because if somebody comes to your house and they're looking at the back of your wreath, you need to smack them. Like, mind your own business. But I'm just going to glue that there just to hold it down. That might take a second. And then I'm just going to take the strip and just wrap it around. And I'll just tear off however many strips I need just to get the look that I want. And go just like that. And see how the end is going to stop right there. I'm just going to flip it back over like that. And I'll put just a little blob of glue right here and just stick my fabric down. Just like that. Now while that's setting up, I'll show you what I mean. Is my sign dry? I think it is. Okay, I think my sign is dry. So I'm going to take the sign here. I'm just going to show you what I mean by gluing the pipe cleaners to the back. I think I'll need one because this part, this line right here from the top point to the bottom point, that's the part that's going to be against your wreath. So I'm going to glue one right about there, and I'll glue one right about here. I'm just going to put a blob of glue right there. And this is the same way that I attach any sign to a wreath. Y'all seen me do this a million times with my Dollar Tree signs. And this little star is not that heavy, so these pipe cleaners and the hot glue will be just fine. And then let's put another one right here, just like that. Then, like I said, I'm going to do the same thing to these fabric stars. I'm just going to put a blob of glue, and then I'm going to put the pipe cleaner down and then let it harden, and I'll just put it down there, feed your pipe cleaner through your grapevine wreath, and then twist them in the back. I'm not going to make y'all watch me do all that. This video has been long enough, and I have cut sections long enough. I'm sure y'all are getting tired of hearing me talk by now. But I'm going to finish with this ribbon, and then I'm going to attach my sign and my stars, and it will be done. And of course, you have seen the finished product at the very beginning of the video. So I hope that you enjoyed this one. I'm sorry it was so long-winded, but like I said, with paint and things like that, you know, there are several steps. So I hope y'all did enjoy it. If you would, please give me a thumbs up, click subscribe, check me out on other forms of social media. The links to all of those will be in the description box down below, and I hope to see y'all next time. Bye-bye.